as the latest episode of The Flash, Elongated Journey Into Night, makes clear. There's about to be a new superhero in Central City, and his name is Ralph Dibny, at least right now. As the episode's title suggests, soon enough, after a little training from Barry Allen, Ralph will very likely assume the moniker he's gone by in the comics for 57 years, the Elongated Man. But as Flash executive producer Andrew Kreisberg reveals, Ralph's introduction wasn't just a nod to the long, rich history the character shares with the Scarlet Speedster, although the Flash first encountered the stretchable sleuth back in 1960, and they has shared many adventures with him since. In fact, Ralph's not just there to pump fresh blood into Team Flash, he's there to give the entire show a creative goose as well. The creative team has long been considering bringing Elongated Man into the fold, says Kreisberg, but the timing was finally ideal. Every once in a while, somebody would bring it up as an episodic thing, but we thought it was too big of a deal, he admits. It's season 4 and shows can get stale, so we really wanted to bring somebody in and have it feel like something new and different, and like something you haven't seen a lot on television, and not just with his skill set, but also that character. Shows that have 7, 8, or 9 years always have that new character come in around season 3, 4, or 5 that helps take you through the rest of the way, adds Kreisberg. They're not similar as characters, but like Faith on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that was our hope. And while actor Hartley Sawyer provided a perfect visual match for the DC Comics Ralph, the character's backstory got a bit of a makeover, and, in making him a disgraced cop with a tense history with Barry, a considerable darkening too. You don't want to add something that you already have, says Kreisberg. Ralph, in the comics, is very squeaky clean and a good guy, and the one thing we didn't have on this show, because everybody is so likable, is a jerk. Well, Harry is a jerk, in a different way, but we didn't have somebody who was just a louse and crude, and who liked to drink, somebody that would come in and point out how silly it is that not everybody is in a superhero show. Kreisberg elaborates, with so many of these characters, they're not who they are yet. They're becoming the Green Arrow, or becoming the Flash. We thought it would be interesting if he had a murkier backstory, so that by the time we got to season whatever, he's the Ralph Dibny that everybody knows and loves from the comics. That was the decision. The inclusion of the Elongated Man also gives the show a chance to reconnect to the lighter, more wide-eyed tone of its debut season, explains producer Todd Helbing, who wrote Ralph's introductory episode. With Ralph discovering his powers and how to use them, it's fun to watch somebody, and especially a guy like him, do that. Season 1 was all Barry discovering his powers, and now you can see Ralph do it in the crazy ways that we're gonna show that. And it's different from Barry, adds Kreisberg. We have an episode coming up where Ralph gets hurt and he didn't know he could die. Cisco is like, "Wait, I'm sorry, were you only doing this because you thought you were invincible?" And he's like, "Yeah. Why else would I be doing this?" It's interesting cause it's different, as opposed to a speedster. Jesse and Wally were both going on very similar trajectories to Barry, but Ralph's problems and his hero's journey has different facets to it, which make it feel fresh. In the comics, the Elongated Man has traditionally shared the spotlight with his beloved bon vivant wife Sue, who was an equal partner in investigating his trademark mystery cases over the years. They were played, effectively, as the Nick and Nora Charles of comics until the very controversial storyline 2004 miniseries Identity Crisis, in which Sue was brutally murdered by the previously laughable supervillain Dr. Light. So with Ralph on the scene, is Sue's arrival also imminent? Yes, offers Kreisberg, but I think we want to wait until we get to know Ralph and sort of exhaust Ralph where he is before he meets Sue, because Ralph and Sue are endgame, as the kids like to say. You don't want to bring her in too soon, but it's definitely in our plan. If not for this year, then we'll see. Kreisberg offered a few other behind-the-scenes revelations regarding the current season, particularly in regard to the concerted effort to lighten up the series after a particularly dark storyline last season, which proved frustrating for some fans. To that end, the creative team has changed up the way it's dealing with the central big bad of season 4, the Thinker.